Friends, if we look at the history of philosophy, hundreds of philosophers have done great work. They shared their path-breaking ideas with the world and gave people a new way of thinking. Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, Marcus Aurelius, Immanuel Kant, Descartes, Spinoza, Heidegger, Sartre, Simone de Beauvoir, Albert Camus. All of them were top-notch philosophers, but neither did anyone like Friedrich Nietzsche or anyone like him. Nietzsche was a magician. He was a man possessed. He was an absolute genius. Nietzsche's mind was full of ideas. He is the most fascinating philosopher I have ever read. Friedrich Nietzsche's earth-shattering philosophy has the power to change a person's life. If you put all the philosophers of the world together, whether it is Eastern philosophy or Western philosophy, all these ideas cannot match Nietzsche's idea of Übermensch. That was the power of this great philosopher. I have made countless videos on Nietzsche. I have explained to you about Übermensch. I have told you about the concept of Zarathustra. I have also discussed beyond good and evil with you. When Nietzsche says that God is dead, what did he mean? By this statement, I have explained this to you in detail. When Nietzsche talks about transvaluation of values, I have also explained this to you. And most importantly, when Nietzsche talks about will to power, I have also explained this to you in detail. In today's video, I will share with you the 10 most impactful quotations of Nietzsche. These quotations have the power to transform your lives. So watch this video till the end, because my favorite quotation will come first. Friends, remember that. Only one moment in life is enough to change your life. Maybe that moment is today. When people read Nietzsche, they think that he is a pessimist, a nihilist. He increases disappointment and hopelessness in people. Nietzsche's philosophy elevates people. It expands their thinking. It elevates the flight of man. Nietzsche's philosophy is colossal, grand, and universal. Whoever follows this philosophy will definitely achieve himself. So let's start with number 10. It is again one of my favorite quotations from the great philosopher. I use this statement a lot in my seminars and public speaking. It goes like this. People often do not want to hear the truth because they do not want their illusions to be destroyed. Oof, absolutely mind-blowing. But what does this mean? See below. This statement, he is trying to explain that the truth is very bitter and painful, and people do not have the courage to face it. Therefore, they spend their whole life relying on an illusion which may or may not be true, but it becomes an anchor of their life. Then it does not matter that whatever they follow, whatever is a part of their faith, how close they are to truth or reality. Just once when they catch that illusion, they spend their whole life relying on it. What he is trying to explain with this statement is that people live in such an imaginary world. They have such delusions which they cannot see breaking, and because truth is so ruthless, it has the power to break their illusion, and people cannot tolerate this illusion breaking. That is why you must have noticed that when you talk about people's beliefs, their faith, their religion, they get confused, because where there is a question of belief, the question is not raised. It is not seen whether it is right or wrong. If it is a misunderstanding, then that misunderstanding is acceptable to us. Let's move on to number 9. One must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star. I have taken this statement from Nietzsche's greatest book, Das Pog Zarathustra. You can also call it Das Pog Zarathustra. Last time in my post, I told you that the number 1 book in all the self-help books in the world is Nietzsche's Das Pog Zarathustra. But what does this statement mean? Nietzsche's philosophy makes a person restless. Nietzsche said that when there is chaos in society, an Übermensch comes out of it. When any society touches rock bottom and no hope is seen, a person is born from there who changes the whole society. Nietzsche wanted everyone to become an Ubermensch. He wanted people to be the best version of themselves. Therefore, he is trying to say that until you don't have a restlessness in you, you won't be able to do any big and outstanding work in life. The restlessness in a person is what makes it special in life. If you are used to a comfortable life, you like luxury, then don't expect that you will do something great in life. To achieve something great, to do something great, restlessness is necessary in health. A restlessness that keeps forcing you to move forward. This quotation is what Nietzsche is motivating people for. In the next quotation, there is a very important formula for living for you people. It is not the strength, but the duration of great sentiments that make great men. This statement is present in Nietzsche's book, Will to Power. Look, my dear book buddies, those who have been following me for years know that I have always taught you people that the one character trait that will be most useful to you in life is perseverance. That is, perseverance. That is, pursuing something in the long term, staying behind something. Nietzsche wants to explain this statement that a successful person is not by his strength or power, but by his feelings, by his perseverance. A person's greatness or greatness depends on how long he can carry his feelings. Most people I have seen, in fact, 95% people are suddenly motivated, start doing some work, and with the passage of time, their motivation diminishes. A champion, my friends, is the one who works with long-term vision, determination, perseverance on something. Success, in fact, is only achieved when people run after their passion, their obsession with long-term commitment. Nietzsche also wants to explain this. The quotation on the 7th number is very simple, but it contains the essence of Nietzsche's philosophy. Become who you are. Again, I have taken this from Thus Spoke Zarathustra. Look, Nietzsche's philosophy stands on a wonderful German word, which is Selbstüberwindung. It means self-overcoming. Friedrich Nietzsche's entire philosophy says that the purpose of man is to overcome himself, to reach his highest potential, to optimize all the potentials and strengths that are hidden in a person. When Nietzsche talks about Übermensch, he talks about a person who is well aware of his strengths, who lives his life according to his morals. Nietzsche tries to explain this through his philosophy that just think that who would you want to be if you were to be the best version of yourself? That is, just think that if you want to operate at your highest potential, then what would you want to become? And for me, in this entire world, there is nothing more sacred, more sacrosanct, more sacred than this, that a person should operate at his highest potential, taking advantage of this opportunity. I would also like to tell you that just think who would you want to become, and then make sure that you become what you want. Moving on. The quotation on the 6th number is again very simple, but there is a very important lesson of life hidden in it. The lie is a condition of life. I have taken this statement from Nietzsche's book, On the Genealogy of Moral. This statement is also closely related to Nietzsche's philosophy. C. Nietzsche used to say that lies and misconceptions are very important in a person's life, because, through them, a person tries to achieve discipline and happiness in his life. In fact, society is based on lies and misconceptions. Nietzsche was an existentialist, and existentialists believe that life is meaningless and we have to give meaning to this life ourselves. And sometimes, to give meaning to life, a person has to take the support of lies. So, a strange thing is that the more the importance of truth in life, the more the importance of lies. Because most people in the world hold on to this rope of lies and spend their entire life, okay, sir. The next quotation is the one that I have written on the wall of my office. I like it so much because in this, again, the philosophy of life is hidden. He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow. This statement is from Nietzsche's book, Twilight of the Idols, and it's a great work of his thought process. The meaning of this statement is that a person who knows the purpose of his life, he overcomes any difficulty in life easily. He overcomes any kind of challenge. That means, once you get the meaning of this life, you will understand what you have to do in life. Then you can easily face any difficulty and trouble. So, if you want to live with a high mindset, if you want to do something big, then try to find the purpose and objective of life. Because once you do that, then you will know all the problems of life in small details. Okay, we are getting close to number 1. The statement on number 4 is very famous, and it goes like this. What doesn't kill me makes me stronger. This statement is quite self-explanatory. Nietzsche wants to explain that when we face tough challenges in life and don't break, then these things strengthen our character. They make us strong. And anyway, friends, remember that the real character of a person is known when the chips are down. Difficulties, challenges, problems, struggles are an integral part of life. If we run away from them, then we will never be able to achieve peace in life. Life is about a progressive struggle, to run after such an ideal with which you can do justice to your life. And when you struggle for something, struggle, then difficulties do come, and these difficulties make you a strong character person. Number 3 is, man is something that shall be overcome. What have you done to overcome him? This is the same thing I explained to Yo